All right, and welcome in. We will see if my live streaming capabilities work. I figured I might as well record this live just in case. But welcome in. I just wanted to start out kind of this channel, which it's really not. I kind of wanted to give it at least a little bit of a rundown of this channel, the purpose behind this channel from a YouTube channel perspective. Really, this is not a major project or anything crazy that's going to go on. I am not a Disney park streamer. I'm not someone that's going to be generating content specifically in the parks for live streaming. I'm not going to be somebody you're going to want to tune in or follow or subscribe to. That's really not what I am. I'm not in that role. Who I am, I'm somebody that absolutely loves and adores the Disney parks. I very much enjoy visiting the Disney parks and being there for any time that I can. But I also enjoy very much seeing what's going on and being able to see other people at the parks. So watching the live streams of different content creators that are out in the parks live from a day-to-day basis is one of my pastimes, and it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that I made a decision to kind of work on this concept and creation of mine based on that, as I found that there was kind of a need that I was looking for. So myself being an avid ninja watcher at work, I was kind of focused on finding a way to be able to see all the content that was out there in one different place without having to jump between different tabs of YouTube or see who was live, when they were live. I really wanted all of that in one place. So that's specifically where this comes from. So really this video is a quick just introduction to myself, and kind of what I'm looking to do with this. I'll go ahead and transition over my screen so you can actually see, because you don't want to look at me anymore, I'm sure. But when I transition over my screen to just my initial kind of about page here that I have, and I just want to kind of briefly show, and I'm going to increase the font so maybe you'll actually be able to see it. But kind of honestly, this project comes from just a passion to be able to see the Disney parks and be able to see them in different places. One of the big keys, I won't bore you with some of the technology, but one of the big keys in here, and I do tell you to go check out the about, which I'm looking at my local version, but it's out there. Um, but one of my biggest passions and specific item behind this is I wanted to make sure that I was doing this in such a way that I did not take away from the actual creators themselves in any monetization, any focus away from them. So you'll see as I go through this demo, that was a big part of my focus. So I want to start off just taking a look, and actually let me go straight to the actual page. So the site is live out there, DisneyStreams.com. If you decide you want to go and view this, kind of the main concept behind this is it's just an aggregate where it's going to show you all the current streams that are out there, as well as some upcoming streams that will be visible here. You see they don't autoplay. That was done by design to make sure that the viewership actually went directly to the streamers that are there. Zippity Doo Doug didn't actually close his stream out properly, so he's still showing. I'm working on figuring that out. But you can see here you have to launch them. But essentially what this does is it gives you an aggregate of the people that are currently live within the park. This will automatically add in any new streams that start during the time period. It will manage dropping streams out when the stream ends. So ultimately it gives you a display to be able to see them. Now this display is going to adapt. So if we only have a couple of streams, it's going to shrink. If we have up to 9 streams, it's going to show them in a cube format. Once we get over 9, it kind of overflows to another page that's not visible. But currently right now, 9 is the maximum. I've hit that a couple times when I've been watching and playing around with it. So it is something that does happen. There's a couple different pieces of functionality I want to walk through. Just initially, all the scripting behind which channels are going to be shown and what's going to be visible is done behind the scenes. But if you click your info bubble over here, you can see I've got a periodic check about every 2 minutes. It's going to go back and check to see if there's any live streams. Those are about 3 minutes up to date with the delay on the back end script. So if someone goes live, usually in about 3 minutes maximum, they're going to show up. I am also, as you see down here, pulling in upcoming streams that are within 2 hours. So these streams are going to show up and be here, and they'll automatically be ready for you when the actual live stream starts. So once it converts from an upcoming stream to a current stream, all you're going to have to do is click play, and it'll take off and start. I've got some functionality to work to try to keep these live. I know that's one of the biggest problems is if the video buffers or there's any connection issue, you kind of have some issues with making sure you're really up to date with what's going on. So I've got some functionality, but I also have a manual option for the user to be able to force everything to live. So if you click that button, it's going to update all the videos, push them. You can see we've got our nice little red bubbles there going to live. So we have that from that perspective. One of the things I did want to make sure was that I wasn't, again, taking away from the creators. So the view counts are still going directly to them, as well as the monetization and any viewing, just like you were doing it on YouTube. I don't have a way to integrate in the like buttons. I've been working on if that's a possibility. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it is going to be a possibility, but I do have integration into the comments. So as long as you're logged into YouTube within your normal way you log in, if you click your little comment button here, and it does take a second, it's going to bring you into the actual comment section where you'll be able to see the live chat. You can change it to live chat or top chat just like you can within YouTube. You'll be able to chat with your login account and interact or view as you see fit. Now, based on screen real estate and the way that it's designed, you can only open up one chat window at a time. So you're not going to be able to chat with 12 people at the same time or nine people. But it's very easy to come in here and still interact with your favorite person that you have here. Or if you see somebody that does something interesting, you can do that as well. Now, you also have the ability, and I got one of my little bugs that I'm going to have to look at. So I'm going to do a hard refresh. Easiest thing to always do if there's any issues is just do a hard refresh on the channels. My computer's freaking out a little bit right now because it's not built for live streaming. It's built for business, not not anything crazy like this. Um, so we see we've got these running again. You can't always go full screen with the a single stream if you like, or just like native elements, you could go full screen within your browser. I use this to cast to a TV, and so it's very easy to be able to push that up there. I do have functionality in here, so if there's a video you don't want to see, so in the case of good old Zippity Doo Doug that didn't properly turn off his stream, and so it's still technically he's live, but it's buffering for forever. I am working on that to remove those cases from the script, but I can go ahead and just manually hit the X, close him out. He's now going to be hidden until I do the next hard refresh. So from a user perspective, if you had a certain stream you didn't want to see, or if you want to prioritize the display to only see, 4 items, so I can go ahead and go, I don't really care about that upcoming video, so let me go ahead so I can see the display a little bit larger here. I can do that. Do also have the option up here if I want to turn off upcoming channels. So this is more of a hard-coded value in here that once you deselect this for yourself, it'll stay deselected for a certain amount of time until you clear your cache. But that allows you to not have to view the upcoming channels. So if there are upcoming channels that are there, they'll show off. I do have some what I call filler channels. So from a display perspective, if there's an odd number, I don't really like to have a just black section. So I've got a couple of the kind of standard filler channels that are just park information that come in and integrate in here as well. So this gives you kind of a quick idea of what this looks like. I encourage you, if you stumbled upon my video or stumbled upon me, take a look at the site, play around with it. I do welcome feedback. So send me a message through my about page. You can always contact me, shoot me an email, what you think about how things are going. I find throughout the day, I put this full screen on a third monitor that I have, and then I kind of set it and forget it. I start the streams off. There are still bugs. It's not perfect. It's something I've been working on for just a couple of weeks to try to get running. But ultimately, I wanted to find a place that would allow me as a personal project to be able to see any streamers that were out there. I've still got some channels that don't show up. Occasionally, I've got some music channels that show up. So I'm still constantly working on my scripting to make sure that, I pull in anyone and everyone, but not things that aren't applicable to being at Disney currently. Currently, the aim is mainly for Disney streamers, so the folks that are at Universal most of the time, or at Universal over half of the time, you're not going to see their streams out there. I do have them hidden from that perspective. So that's kind of the main site. I encourage you to play around with it. The other item that I do have that I'm working on that it's kind of more of a kind of dashboard to see here is I've got this hub that I've built in, and it's really just because it's the same data on the back end that I already have, so it's pretty easy to show kind of what things look like. So we can come up here and we can see, this is a list of the currently live streamers that are out here. These are the folks that have upcoming streams scheduled. So we can kind of very quickly see, we got Disney Girl Kim in 46 minutes, Dis Our Dream, Park Hoppers, Barry's Place, Coda. You got a little bit of everybody out here within this list. You got links to go straight there. Same thing with currently live streamers. As I noted earlier, Zippity Doug's stream is still running from a YouTube perspective, so YouTube still thinks it's active, so it's still showing up on here. I do have functionality built in if you did end up with that stream on there and you ignored it. After a certain amount of time, it will hide it because it's in a constant buffering state. But again, for now, when I do my hard refreshes, it's still in there. Do have viewer counts out here. The viewer counts don't update super regularly. This page is on a periodic span where it's going to update. Note if you're looking at your clock right now, I'm in Central Time, so this is based on Central Time. But this auto refreshes about every 3 minutes, just like the main page. So you're going to see these consistently update. I'm working on a mobile version specifically of the hub, and I want to play around with looking at the ability to get any notifications when certain people go live. There's uh, different things that run through my head on different things that we can do. But so I can return back now to just my standard stream here. Again, this is not perfect. There's lots of bugs within this. I just wanted to kind of initially record something that was out here, and I figured, hey, I might as well do it live, just so that people can see what's out here. And if it's something you want to use, you're welcome to use it. For my needs, it's perfect for my ninja watching days to just throw up on a monitor. It's fun to be able to see when people pop in and just appear and start streaming. It's also a lot of fun sometimes at nights when you see the fireworks and you get to see them from 4 or 5 angles. I know I was testing this heavily during the sad ending of Muppets, and when Muppets ended, it was just a lot of fun to see that whole entire final day from 6, 7 different folks that were there all live streaming, and then when it came down to the end, you got 4 or 5 people all hanging out in the courtyard just from different angles, just seeing what's going on. So it was really kind of a cool feeling to feel like you were there even though you weren't able to be there. So I think that's everything I was going to show for today. I do kind of appreciate if you found this video, if you were hanging out, didn't have anything better to do, and found this again. It was just as easy for me to do this demo as a live stream as it was to try to do it and re-record it later. So definitely appreciate you tuning in and hope everybody has a great